Olá, eu sou o Ricardo Lopes Cardoso, coordenador do Programa de Mestrado Acadêmico e Doutorado em Administração da FGV EBAPE. Sejam bem-vindos ao webinar do nosso Msc Phd. As manifestações expressas por mim hoje aqui representam exclusivamente as minhas opiniões pessoais e não necessariamente a posição institucional da Fundação Getulio Vargas. Reitero que todos aqui presentes concordam em participar deste evento de forma espontânea e, com isso, autorizamos o uso da imagem para essa transmissão, que ficará disponível posteriormente nos canais oficiais da FGV. Bom, pessoal, sabendo que o nosso programa de mestrado acadêmico e doutorado em administração da EBAPE é totalmente ministrado em inglês, eu vou agora passar a falar em inglês, portanto. As I said, I'm Ricardo Lopes Cardoso, the academic coordinator of the program, where I work with Daniele Santos, the program manager, Daniele Blanche. I need to share my screen. Just 1 second, please. There I go. David Blanche, the program assistant, and Danusa Vasconcelos, the admissions officer. The program. The program of academic graduate studies in administration at FGV EBAPE is composed of the master and the PhD in administration. The courses are totally interconnected and they share the same values and principles. Our program is evaluated by CAPES, the Brazilian federal government agents for higher education, where they assess and evaluate PhD programs in 7 grades. We receive the highest grade, that is number 7. And our school is also accredited by AACSB and EFMD Equis. So we are very proud of all these assessments that we have, and we hope that you also agree to join us due to the high standard quality of our program. Now, as just said, the program is composed by both the master and the PhD, but of course there are differences between them, and their main differences are due to their purposes. The master program has the purpose to prepare students to become a PhD, either at FGV or at some other distinguished institution, either in Brazil or elsewhere in the world, or to work and go straight to the job market. On the other hand, the PhD has the purpose to prepare students for academic careers as research professors. They can perform their careers at universities, other academic institutions, think tanks, either in Brazil or abroad. Sometimes some candidates ask themselves why they should apply for our program at EBAPE or anywhere else. And we had discussed with our students what brought them here. And then we structured their answers in these 4 pillars. So these are the program highlights. This represents the high standard quality of our program and what really attracts our students. The first pillar, road-renewed faculty. What does it mean? Is that our faculty, myself and my colleagues, have relevant international experience. Most of them graduated abroad or were professors abroad, or frequently they serve as visiting scholars in European universities or universities in the North America. On the top of that, our research is definitely international. We publish papers in international journals. We serve as journal editors or paper reviewers for international journals. And our productivity, the high level and the frequency that EBAPE's faculty publish papers in high standard quality international journal is definitely one of the most relevant criteria to differentiate this program from other programs, not only in Brazil, but in South America as well. The quality and rigorous training. As I just said, our program is fully taught in English. And the reason why we decided to do that, it's simply because English is the language of science. Whenever you intend to publish your paper in a very high standard qualified journal, that journal either requires papers being published in English or they accept papers published in English. And that's because it enhances significantly the range of potential readers for that paper and therefore the range of potential quotations to that paper. Our program is organized for students that can dedicate themselves entirely to the program. So we are a full-time dedication program. What do we mean by a full-time program? Is that, first of all, we need to make it very clear that we are really demanding. We are really time-consuming while you are registered, enrolled in our program. Master students that will participate in this selection process for the cohort that starts in January next year will have 21 months to defend their master thesis. So they will have up to September 2022 to graduate, while PhD students that start in January next year will have until December 2024 to graduate to defend their PhD dissertation. So the PhD is 48 months, while the Master in Science is 21 months long. But during this period, as I said, we are really demanding. How are we demanding? Master students might take at least 14 courses. It means 28 credits. Those courses are organized as follows. At least 3 courses from method courses, at least 3, statistics 1A, statistics 1B, and either qualitative data collection analysis or comparative historical methods. Plus, our students need to select one research track where they will focus their attention, their research. So you need to take at least 4 courses from that specific research track that you choose, and 5 other courses. These 5, as we say here, elective courses, these 5 other courses might be more method courses, more courses from your own track, or courses from the other tracks that we have, or you can either choose to take credits up to 2 courses outside our program. Could be in any other master program or PhD program at FGV or abroad or in another university, I mean, here in Brazil. On the top of these courses, you might also participate for 1 year in our graduate seminars. The graduate seminars are organized 1 graduate seminar per quarter. Since you have to take 4 quarters, you need to attend to graduate seminars for 4 quarters, it means an entire year. And you might also take 2 credits, as we call the course Supervised Research Seminar. In supervised research seminars, You discuss your research program, the method of your research that will become your master thesis with your supervisors, with your supervisor and other colleagues that might be also supervised by your supervisor as well. Well, in total, those are 14 courses or 28 credits, plus the qualifying the defense of your dissertation. It sums up 34 credits or equivalent to 510 hours. But we are more demanding than these. So in order to participate in these courses, you might dedicate yourself much longer than the 30 hours per course that we have. We might say that if a course has 30 hours within class, we might expect from you that you dedicate yourself outside the classroom on average for 45 hours. So it means 30 hours in classroom plus 45 hours outside the classroom to prepare yourself for all the readings, all the assignments that you need to take and sit for them. That's why the program is organized for students that can dedicate themselves entirely to the program. The PhD structure is quite similar to the structure of the master program. The difference are mainly the amount of courses that PhD students might take. Those sum up to at least 17 courses or 36 credits, and these mean method courses. You need to take 6: the machine learning business research and panel data analysis, plus 4 other method courses that you might choose freely that we also offer. If you that are joining our PhD program had not graduated from the master from EBAPE, you might take at least Statistics 1A and Statistics 1B from the master program. And those 2 will deduct from these 4 courses that you might take. You might also choose one research track and take at least 5 courses from your research track and 4 other courses. Again, those 4 other courses, elective courses, might be more method courses or more research track courses or any other course that we offer for the other research tracks at EBAPE, or you can take up to 2 courses outside our program. As I said, for the master, the same rules applies here. And you might also participate in our graduate seminars for 1 year. It means 4 quarters. And you might take 4 credits related to supervised research seminars. Now, talking about the research tracks. As I said, we have 4 research tracks. They are institutions, policy, and government, coordinated by Professor Carlos Pereira. Behavior and decision science, coordinated by Professor Ishani Agraval. Strategy, management, and organizations, coordinated by Professor Olivier Bertrand. And finance, coordinated by Professor Lys Norden. I do suggest to you to come to this web page here. Take a look on our website, specifically on the professors that participate in our program. You have the link to their CVs under the large structure. Read what we publish, read what kind of research we do, and then also identify to which research tracks are we located, so you can have a better idea about the content and the type of research that we do within any of these research tracks. On the, oh, sorry, I should have gone there first. Okay, so that's what we mean by full-time program. And to finish this pillar, the quality and rigorous training of our program, EBAPE also has some research centers, and the activities of these research centers are connected to the research interest of the MSc and PhD program. So specifically, those 4 centers that are more tightly related to the program, I show here 4 research centers. We have the Center for Banking and Finance Research in Rio, coordinated by Professor Lars Norden, the same professor that coordinates the finance track. Oh, sorry. We have the CBR, the Center for Behavioral Research in Rio, coordinated by Professor Eduardo Bittencourt, the head of EBAPE. We have the Centro de Excelência e Inovação em Políticas Educacionais, coordinated by Professor Claudia Costin, and the ARC-ANA, Applied Research Center in Accounting and Analytics, coordinated by myself. Again, I do exhort you to search our website, open this link here. There you have information about each of these research centers. And then you can join their web page, see the kind of research we do within any of these research centers. And you might also find some scholarship opportunity if you want to join the activities as a research assistant of any of these research centers. And there are we used to offer opportunities for scholarship there, so you can join and also work and receive some scholarship. Might help you anyhow. The third pillar, inspiring academic experience. I already said something about our graduate seminars. I will go specific on that. As I said, both master students and PhD students are required to participate in our graduate seminars for 4 quarters, 1 year. But what are the graduate seminars? We invite visiting professors to present their research projects or their brand new, recently published papers to our students. So the researcher comes, first explains the research he's doing, is still underway or just recently published, as I said, and comments some details about the challenges that he or she or their colleagues faced while developing that piece of research. They may also comment about the due process of submitting the paper, receiving the feedback from the editor, revise and resubmit the paper again until get it published. It's very, very inspiring and very useful discussion about research that we have in our program. All the first year master and PhD students are required to join these sessions, and students from the second year master and second, third, fourth year PhD students are also welcome to participate and join us. On the top of that, international exchange. Oh, I should have said that we used to invite international scholars to present their research in our graduate seminars. But on the top of that, we also encourage our students to go abroad to get some experience in other universities outside Brazil. So doctoral stay, as we say in Portuguese, doutorado sanduíche, is very well enforced here. We exhort our PhD students to go abroad. So students are encouraged to take a doctoral stay, programa sanduíche, abroad after the second year. So since they start the third year in the program, after the fourth quarter, the 80th quarter, as long as their conceptual paper is approved. The doctoral stay or doutorado sanduíche cannot be longer than 1 year. So I need to make it clear, because sometimes people ask the questions and I have to answer that during the Q&A session. So just to clarify, if you are a PhD student, you might take all the courses, those 17 courses that I presented in a previous slide, during the first 2 years of your program. Remember, a PhD has 4 years, is 4 years long. During the first 2 years, you need to take all the credits and submit your conceptual paper for evaluation under a blind review process. After you have completed all those 17 courses and received the approval on your conceptual paper, then we stamp your passport so you can go abroad for a doctoral stay. Hence, you might take some credits over there during your doctoral stay. It's good that you take credits there, but those credits will not be accepted to fulfill your 17 courses required here, because as I said, you need to fulfill all the courses before going abroad. So if you go abroad for a doctoral stay and take credits there, it's okay. You are adding more credits than those that you have to comply within the first 2 years of your PhD program, okay? You are welcome to take credits there, but they are in addition to the minimum that you need to take here. Other candidates that used to participate in our webinars also ask, I'm interested in the master program. Do you have a master stay, like a mestrado sanduíche? Okay, so answering this question, although the slide is not dedicated for the master students here, yes, master students, once they conclude all those 14 courses, they get the approval from all the 14 courses they need to take during the first year of their master program, and they get the approval from their supervisor on the research project. Again, we stamp your passport and you are free to go for international experience during your master program. In this case, we suggest that the international experience for master students being no longer than 6 months. So between 3 months and 6 months is the ideal length of such an international experience for master students, okay? And finally, the fourth pillar, top-notch students. I'm talking about our students, you in the future, you tomorrow. Yes, we are very proud of our students. Our students are really very, very good students. You will see when you join them. And they are geographically diversified. We have students not only from Rio de Janeiro city, we have students from different cities from the Rio de Janeiro state, from different states from Brazil, and as well as we have students from other countries. I hate this point of my presentation because I need to remind where they are from. So I always forget someone. We have students from China, from Italy, from Poland, from France. I always forget someone, I just said. Some others from Latin America. So yes, we have a very well diversified group of students, and we are very proud of that. As well as our students are also, their academic background is also diversified. Although this is a Master in Science in Administration, a PhD in Administration, we have students, of course, with the administration background, but we have students from many different backgrounds: accountants, economists, mathematicians, physicians, political scientists, data scientists. We have students from really a quite diversified range of academic backgrounds. All these four pillars together combine, sorry again, what we are really proud of, a very interesting and demanding and relevant academic program. Now, talking about money, the fee and the grant. Tuition fee. We charge no tuition fee at all. All students accepted for their master and PhD program will be exempted from any fees and duties. Dues. And how about scholarship? Yes, if you dedicate yourself entirely to the program, you are eligible to receive a scholarship. The program offers study grants to students for their upkeep based on students' progress, performance, and full commitment to stay studies under the program. So again, you not only don't pay anything, you might also receive a scholarship in addition for the exemption from any tuition fee. So the investment that you make in the program is your time, your dedication, your commitment, your success, not money. On the top of that, sorry, I hope it's not COVID. Eh? On the top of that, additional scholarships are also available. The program offers opportunities to students double their scholarship. So let's say that you don't work, you are eligible for a scholarship and you receive a scholarship, either from CAPES, CNPq, FAPERJ, or from FGV's own budget. And on the top of that, you also get enrolled in activities related to the school as a whole or to the school's research centers. And there you apply for a scholarship for a specific activity like working as a research assistant or a teaching assistant in the program. You might keep your scholarship and receive an additional one. Finally, about the selection process. As you know, we are in the second round of the selection process. We already had the first round, but there is no problem. If you miss the first round, that's no problem at all. The selection process is exactly the same. And how is it scheduled? You might apply for our selection process until December 11th. If you are selected based on the documents that you will submit, you will be invited for the interview. We might interview you either on Friday, 18th September, or Monday, Tuesday. So until the 22nd of December, just before Christmas, we will interview you, and we might announce the final result by December 22nd. Again, just before Christmas. So you have between Christmas and New Year's Eve to enroll in the program. So by 28th, 29th of December to enroll yourself in the program and become a EBAPE student, because classes will start on January 11th. Okay. Now, if you had never heard about our program before, you are getting information for the first time about our program. What do I mean by a second round here? It's simple. We organize the selection process for the master and PhD programs that will start in January next year. We organize it in 2 rounds, as I say here. The first round was took place some months ago, and we do like that in order to allow students that are not from Rio de Janeiro, are not from Brazil, will need to move to the Rio de Janeiro city, will need to find an apartment, rent a place for themselves, or if they are not Brazilians, they will apply for a visa at the Brazilian consulate and get the visa to fly here. So that's so time consuming that it would not be feasible for those students get approved before Christmas and sit in our classrooms on January 11th. So in order to allow those other students to participate in the process, we anticipate by a couple of months the first round of the selection process. That's it. Okay, no worries if you are not in a worst position because you are applying for the second round. Definitely not a problem. No worries. Now, as I said, you will apply by until up to December 11th. You need to present a set of documents. Which documents are those? This is the list of documents you might present. I won't read all of them. And if I really suggest you to go to our website and read the detailed information about any of these documents, okay? But you need to upload your undergraduate diploma and the result of any of these standard tests, either GMAT, GRE, UNPAD, or UNPAC. You need also to upload your certificate of English proficiency from IELTS, TOEFL, IBT, Cambridge, CE, AFR, or the APTIS from the British Council. Upload your CV under by LAT's website, a letter of intention, your motivation letter, why are you applying for this program in English, 2 recommendation letters from anyone that really knows you. I really suggest that it is from someone from the academia or someone with you have the opportunity to work with or for. Both of them are in English because many of the professors that will interview you are not Brazilians and their English is much better than their Portuguese. So the process is entirely in English. And you need to select, do you remember that I said that we have 4 research tracks in the program? You need to select 2 research tracks, those 2 research tracks in which you are most interested on, in order of preference, like your first best option and your second best option. Why is it so important? Because we will organize the second phase, the interviews, with those professors that work, that research within those 2 research tracks that you are most interested in. So the discussion, the interview process is much more connected to research interest than something else. And notice, if you are applying for the PhD program, you might also upload a pre-project of dissertation, only if you are applying for the PhD again. Of course, this pre-project needs to be in English, very concise. There are detailed information in our website. Based on all these documents, we will select some of you for the second phase, those that get the best grade, the highest grades in these exams, and those that, if you're applying for the PhD, have a pre-project that is really connected to the type of research that we do at EBAPE. We will invite for the interview. And the interviews are all in English, of course. One more information that I guess you might be asking yourself. The interviews will be entirely online, 100% online, most probably at Zoom platform. So no need to travel for the interviews. And how about classes that start in January? Will they will be entirely online as well, at least during the first quarter. I mean, January, March. Our classes will be online at least during the first quarter. So if you don't live in Rio, if you don't live in Brazil, no worries. You can apply, you can organize yourself to, in the best scenario, the first best scenario, move to Brazil, to Rio, only for April, to take to when we will have the second quarter of the program, since the first quarter will be again entirely online. We can even visit the building at the EBAPE's building while we have the situation of COVID here in Rio de Janeiro. If you have further questions, feel free to ask. We have a Q&A session right now. If you don't have the opportunity to ask now, or if I don't properly answer your questions now, you can make us a phone call or send us an email or visit our website where we have many other informations about the program there, okay? So I'm completely available now for the Q&A. Thank you for your attention. I see. First question. Pergunta 1. Hi, what's the criteria for research track allocation? Is it based on the dissertation program, grades, or on exams? Okay, so for this question, the first criteria to allocate students to research tracks is based on the student's own demand. You will present your interest in up to 2 research tracks, and you establish the order, the first best option and your second best option. So mainly based on that, we will organize and allocate you. We use to allocate students to their first choice of research track. Yeah, but you are also right when you ask, is it based on the dissertation project? Yeah, it's in somehow. Sometimes we clearly identify that candidates mislead the meaning of those research tracks. Like they say they want research track number 1, and their pre-project is completely linked to research track number 2. So during the interview, we discussed that, and we used to clarify. When we have doubt about the research track, we used to clarify that during the interview. And after the interview, it's already decided. And I might make also it clear here. I might acknowledge your question. Thank you for your question, because you gave me the opportunity to clarify that we don't only allocate you to a research track. We also, in the same process, in the selection process, we identify who will be your supervisor. Quem vai ser o teu orientador? Who will be your advisor? So we decide during the selection process, mainly during and after the interview, which candidates are selected, to which research tracks are they allocated, and who will supervise them. And based on the availability of slots per supervisor, and where that supervisor is allocated, in which research track the supervisor is allocated, we might also consider to which research track to allocate students, okay? So, if you are applying for the PhD program, You need to present a pre-project. You should also, I exhort you, please present how your research track, how your research project, how your research problem, your research question, how your intent of research is connected to the research track that you choose as your first best option, and identify who among the faculty members you would like to be supervised by. Who would like to be your supervisor? And if you have the opportunity, if you have time, if you organize yourself, today is November 27th, so you have until December 11th to submit the documents. What I mean, send an email to your supervisor, to your intended supervisor, to that one that you would like to supervise yourself. Read his or her CV lattice, send him or her an email, discuss about your research interest with him or her, and make that clear either in your motivation letter or in your pre-project. Now, if you are not applying for the PhD, if you are applying for the master program, you can do the same thing. The only difference is that instead of making that clear on the pre-project, because master students do not submit a pre-project, you might make that clear in your motivation letter, your letter of intention. Also, discuss a little bit about your research interest, who you would like to be your supervisor. If you had the opportunity to talk to him or her, make that clear in the motivation letter, okay? Second question. Can I have a dissertation in the decision-making area and my professor being from organizations area? The answer is yes, it's possible. But I cannot assure you that it will work like this, because most of all, your supervisor might agree to supervise you in that specific issue. If you want to do a research about decision making and your supervisor is not keen to supervise you in that specific subject, either your supervisor would suggest you to change your research area, topic, or to change your supervisor. But it's possible, okay? Not probable. Professor, could you detail how is the process of sandwich doctorate? Yes. What do we call doutorado sanduíche or doctoral stay? Is international experience that our master students or PhD students might obtain after they have concluded all the courses that they might take in our program, and if a master student get the approval on the research project, or if a PhD student get the approval on the conceptual paper. Okay, so you should go after those phases in your career as a student outside to gain the international experience in the academic scenario, in another, living in another country, visiting and participating as a student in another university. And what should you do there? First of all, in order to go and be accepted as a visiting student or a doutorado sanduíche or master student international experience there in a university abroad, you might have a study plan. What do you intend to do in that specific university for that period of time? With whom will you work there in that period? Who will be your co-supervisor there in that university? So who will look after you while you are there? Who will help you there? Will you take some courses? Which courses will you take? Will you participate actively in any research project? Which research project is that? is your own thesis or an additional research project. That needs to be made very clear before you travel abroad. And who else will receive you there might have that very well clear. What are you doing there? What are you intending to do there? So negotiating your interest to go for a doutorado sanduíche or master stay during you are a student at EBAPE is fundamental, is critical. The first step, discuss that with your supervisor. Convince your supervisor that that's a good idea to spend the time there in that specific university. Which university is that? Who will introduce you to the university? Do you have your own network and you know the university, you know a schooler there? Or will you count with the support from your supervisor to introduce you to a leading schooler in that university? You need to discuss that with your supervisor, okay? I guess I had made it clear. The question is quite broad, very open. Could you detail how the process of a doctoral solution? But these are the key ideas that I have to answer a question. So again, talk about the process. Let's say that you already know which university, where you want to study abroad, with whom. And then you introduce that person to your supervisor and they have a first contact and they develop your study plan abroad together. Or you have no idea at all. And then you come to your supervisor, ask him or her, hey, do you have any colleague on some universities abroad? I'd like to do my research as some pieces of my research and study abroad and so on. Or you can go to our Relações Internacionais, our International Relations Office, and ask there, do we have a partnership with any university that, of your interest? Or you can ask them the list of universities, let's say in the US, with which FGV has an agreement to receive doctoral students as visiting students. So there are many kind of, so the process is not only one track. You can follow different process to get to that point, okay? The fourth question, how is the system of scholarships? What are the criteria for applying for one scholarship? So the first one is, first of all, being entirely and only dedicated to the program. In other words, do not work, do not manage your own firm. So being a student, 100% time student, so you are eligible for a scholarship. And then you ask, hey, can I have a scholarship? Once I apply, I'm eligible for. That's the step number one. Step number two, we will identify, do we have scholarships available funded by CAPES or CNPq or FAPERJ? If we do, we will allocate your name to one of those scholarships and you start receiving a bank deposit from the government in your bank account. Or if we have no scholarship available at all, we will find in our budget, FGV budget, and support and make a bank deposit in your bank account at the same amount of the scholarship from CAPES, sorry, from CAPES, but funded by FGV's own budget. That's easy like that, okay? Now, if you are asking about the additional scholarship, in that case, you need to apply for a selection process to work, to perform academic activities within EBAPE. That could be a TA in a course, a teaching assistant to a professor in the program, or a research assistant, mainly those two activities. And then we announce the opportunities, or you can search on the research center's website to see which opportunities are those and how much the scholarship and how to apply for, and then you follow the instructions, okay? Fifth question. If I have a really high score on the IELTS test, will I have a greater chance of being accepted besides the MPI test? Yes, as I said, we will collect all the documents you you submit in the selection process, and mainly based on UNPAD, GMAT, GRE, UNPAC, and the English proficiency based on a joining analysis of both tests. We will select candidates for the interview. Of course, if it is a PhD program, if you're applying for the PhD, we will also consider the consistency, the internal consistency, and link with the EBAPE's research tracks of your research project, okay? Ricardo, is it possible to apply for PhD without having before the master program? Yes, it is. Although we don't use to select students to the PhD without having a master as a background. But we might, but we don't use to, okay? So you can apply, it's up to you. What might happen, what has happened many times, as I remember, as far as I remember, is that during the interview, when we are interviewing, of course, a PhD candidate without a master's degree, and we feel that candidate is not already prepared to sit for the PhD, like it's quite immature, academically saying, not immature in how you behave in your life, but in the academic meaning of maturity, we suggest to take the master first. So, and then what's the great advantage of taking the master before the PhD? It's because you remember that I said that PhD students might take at least 17 courses. If you have taken a master program before, you can eliminate the numbers. I'm so bad with those numbers. I guess, I probably, I'm not sure, need to double check in the regulations, but up to 5 courses. So let's say that the magic number is 5. So if you have a master certificate, master pro, if you have graduated from master before applying for the PhD, once you enter in our PhD, from those 17 courses, you can get exemption from 5. So you take on the 12. However, if you have graduated from master from our program, our master program, and then you continue studying with us, not from at master anymore, but now at the PhD program, you can get exemption from up to 10 courses. So I don't know the name of who asked that question. Let's say that you don't have a master now, you're applying for the PhD. If we feel like it's too risky to accept you for a master's as a master's student immediately, we might suggest you to take the master first. And once you conclude the master, you join the PhD. You need to defend your master dissertation, and then you move straight to the PhD, and then you will get the exemption from 10 courses. That's amazing. So you will take only 7 courses more, okay? And finally, I guess the last question, which countries are eligible for doctoral stay? Any country. Any country. Any particular school? Any school at any country. If many, do you have partnerships with Canada and Portugal? Yes, we have partnerships with more than one university, either in Canada or in Portugal. I don't know the names of those universities. I know, but I'm not pretty sure if the partnership is still active. So I prefer to recommend you to talk to our international relations office, because they have the updated list of universities with which we have partnerships. Now, let me go back to the first two questions. Any country, any school? Yes, sort of. Now let me explain the sort of. Of course, we are really interested that you move abroad to get an international experience with a high-level university, at least the same level as FGV. Definitely makes no sense you leave FGV that is this level to go to a lower level university abroad. That would make no sense. So although you can go there, I would not suggest you to go there. I would suggest you to go to a university better, or at least as good as we are, okay? But you can, it's free. Questions? No more questions? So thank you indeed for your time, your interest, your questions, your attendance. This video will be available at FGV's official channels, and you might also find my PowerPoint slides at the program website available for you to read it again. Okay. Hope to see you in our interviews on December 18th, 22nd, 21st, just before Christmas. Okay, bye-bye. Keep health. Keep safe.